Okay, hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today is just a test. I'm going to try and share my screen and I want to discuss Windows Server 2000. Okay, let's try this. Chapter 1, Introduction, the rise of a new server standard. At the dawn of the 21st, organizations across the globe stood at the edge of a digital transformation. The growing need for a scalable, reliable, and internet-aware enterprise systems demanded more than what existing operating systems could offer. Microsoft answered this challenge with the release of Windows Server 2000. A landmark moment in the evolution of enterprise IT. Windows 2000 Server was more than just a successor to Windows NT 4.0. It was a radical reimagining of what a server operating system could be. It introduced a suite of features that refined system administration, network security, and enterprise scalability. For many professionals, Windows 2000 was their first exposure to the concepts that now have become standard, like Active Directory, group policy, and Kerberos authentication. Sorry, now we're just trying to figure this out. This chapter sets the stage for an in-depth exploration of Windows 2000 server, offering insight into its release, purpose, and foundational role in IT industry. So 1.1, what Windows Server 2000 was part of a broader family of operating systems released under the Windows 2000 umbrella, which included Windows 2000 Professional for desktop and workstation use, Windows 2000 Server Standard Edition for general purpose servers, Windows 2000 Advanced Server supporting larger memory and clustering, Windows 2000 Data Center Server aimed at mission-critical high-end deployments. The server editions were designed to replace Windows NT 4.0 with new capabilities focused on directory services, security, and network scalability. Microsoft marked Windows 2000 as the most secure and reliable server operating system to date, with tight integration of web services and enterprise networking tools. The crown in the jewel of Windows Server 2000 was Active Directory. Active Directory enabled centralized management of users, computers, and resources using a hierarchical and searchable directory service. For the first time, organizations could create scalable and logically segmented domains with organizational units, OUs, and delegate administrative tasks efficiently. Kerberos authentication. Windows 2000 introduced Kerberos v5 as the default authentication protocol, replacing NTLM. The shift greatly improved network security and allowed for single sign-on SSO experiences in domain environments. Group policy. Administrators gained powerful new control over users and machines with group policy objects, GPOs. GPOs allowed for enforcement of security settings, desktop configurations, software installation, and more across entire organizational units. Built-in DNS integration. Windows 2000 Server required DNS for Active Directory and came with its own standard compliant DNS server. The streamlined domain resolution, Active Directory operations, improved networking stack. The TCP IP stack in Windows 2000 was rewritten for better performance and support for DHCP, WINS, IPsec, RRAS, and QoS. technologies for critical modern networking. NTFS 5.0 file system. With NTS 5.0, Windows 2000 supported disk quotas, file system level encryption EFS, and improved access control lists ATLs, setting a new benchmark for file system robustness and security. 1.3 system requirements. At launch, the minimum hardware requirements were modest by modern standards. Processor. Sorry, now I'll just go back up. At a launch, the minimum hardware requirements were modest by modern standards. Processor 1.3 megahertz or higher, RAM 128 MB, 256 MB recommended disk space, 2 gig for base install with more roles and services. File system FAT32 or NTFS. NTFS required for AD, which is Active Directory. Though it could run on older hardware, Windows 2000 scaled well with multi-processor system of up to 64 GB of RAM on data center editions. Windows 2000 Server was quickly adopted by medium to large enterprises looking to modernize their IT infrastructure. Its scalability, stability, and manageability appealed to CIOs and system architects who needed more than what NT 4.0 could offer. Despite initial hesitance due to its complexity and learning curve associated with Active Directory, Windows 2000 Server established a new standard in enterprise computing. Over time, it came to dominate Microsoft-based server environments, setting the stage for later versions like Windows Server 2003 and beyond. 1.5 legacy and relevance today. Though support officially ended in July 2010, Windows 2000 Server's design philosophy and core innovations live on. Modern versions of Windows Server 2022 and beyond still rely on an evolved form of Active Directory, group policy, and NTFS. Understanding Windows 2000 is essential for IT historians and educators as a pivotal moment in enterprise computing. System administrators, especially those managing legacy environments, security professionals for threat modeling and backward compatibility assessment. It serves as a case studying in balancing innovation with enterprise stability, a lesson still relevant in today's rapidly evolving IT world. In summary, Windows 2000 Server marked a transformational leap forward. It introduced architectural changes that redefined enterprise IT infrastructure and laid the foundation for many of the core technologies that businesses still use today. In the chapters to follow, we'll delve deep into the inner workings of this powerful platform, starting with its installation and architecture. So I hope you liked this brief video on Server 2000. I'm going to end today's live stream now. Thank you for listening.